back to the channel, food. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe with flag videos like this.
Fixing my foot.
It's for reals. Who's there? There's no way. I am not going down there. Hell to the no. Yeah, no, I'm out. See ya. Gotta go. Oh my god. You hear kids or something, and I'm in a fucking nursery. No wonder there was no one on this side of the freaking boat. I'm out of here.
If I break this phone open right now and I pulled out my chip, it is called a living grid. So if you look at the difference between cities and grids inside of computer chips and cell phone chips, they look the same way. It's called a matrix. These are prison systems. The ancient Africans and the ancient Hindus call it feng shui. So based off of structure, and that's why the Masons or the Knights Templars, when they built certain things with cornerstones, notice they only use limestones, granite, and marble. You see that? They always use lining of copper and gold, and they put different structures physically in certain places because they knew that that would change the infrastructure and the energy in the room. This is where you get the word logos from. That's a logo right there, the Yaki Awaken logo, but that emits its own frequency by the shape and the color of it. Same thing when you look at a picture or when you hear the word mean logo. So just like you can speak things and speak energy on somebody, you can build energy on somebody too. There's a reason why they call it a prison cell, and you have something called a biological cell inside your body. And certain things can't make it out of themselves. That's the reason why cells or the way they is, that's why they're the space they is, because this does something psychologically to your mind. Notice if you look at older homes, they base models and the template that they was built off of look totally different from the homes today. And notice all the homes back then was built and made with brick. Notice most of them had some type of antenna that went into the sky. They call them cathedrals, and they generated electricity. Notice how they do our homes now. You get more flat roofs or more roofs like this. So structures, shape, and vibration all bring in a certain type of frequency. So yeah, feng shui is real.
Type things in her body, you know, out of Christmas party. I just mentioned something about the blue light, and so this girl says to me, I've had that. And I said, oh, let's go talk. So we go down the little hallway, and she said, you're not going to believe this, but I'm from Maryland, and my dad was really high up in the NSA, and he took me camping when I was a little girl. And we made a fire and we're looking up at the stars, and he says to me, what if I told you that God was an alien and this was all just a big experiment? And she said, I never forgot it. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, these are the kinds of conversations I have with people when I open my mouth. What I do find recurring is that there are many people in this phenomena that have a military-industrial complex connection, like my NASA relatives. My Uncle Jack worked under Wernher von Braun as a mechanical engineer from the 60s forward. He worked on Saturn V, he worked on space shuttle experiment where they had that tethered satellite, and they built it with the Italians, and it broke off, and then it got swarmed by UFOs. It was all caught on video. He worked on that. You know, part of me wonders how much of it is actual non-human entities and how much of it could be a MK Ultra mind control scenario. And the red flags for that is the military relatives. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying I could have been put in a program. Also,
What is the agent?
Silver iodide. Every pound of this that you put up, you get in excess of 40 million pounds of water.
40 million. Wow.
Yeah, that is what has been used in one form or another for the last 60 years. Its crystal structure is almost identical to ice. That plus a couple other material properties make the water freeze onto it very well. We use so little of it, about 50 grams per 100,000 plus acres. There's no measurable or consequential accumulation in the soil for humans or for farms or for ecosystems.
How many drones does it take to do this?
Like 3.
That's it?
What we do is we juggle them. So one drone will go up. Once that reaches altitude, the next drone will go up. The first drone, after dispersing its full payload, will come down. And you'll just cycle that as long as the conditions persist.
Ma'am, I'm here to talk to you about Jesus.
Oops, Jesus already took her.
Instead of just taking him straight from the Mayo Clinic, I'm just gonna spend one more night at the hotel. I'll take him swimming, get him some food. We go out to eat. He's acting fine towards me. He's my buddy. And we're in the hotel room, and I'm in one bed, and he's in the other bed. All the lights are off. Light is on in the bathroom. I'm laying there, and I don't know if I dozed off or what, but I'm just like laying there watching TV, and all of a sudden I see him hop out of the bed. And between the two beds, he's running around the foot of my bed to the bathroom. And I'm like, whoa, 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 hold on, Jimmy, because I want to keep an eye on him. You know, like he's done some dangerous things. I hop out of bed, and I run to follow him. I go in the bathroom. He's not there. And then I'm thinking, did he get out into the hallway? So I open the door to the hallway, and I look, he's not there. And I'm like in full-blown panic, like I just lost my son. And all of a sudden look back, and he's just still dead asleep in bed. And I start flashing back to all the times that he would break things in the house and say that he did it specifically, even though he wasn't in the room.
I help people see the future. When I first went viral on crypto, it was because I had a vision. I had a vision on Solana.
Oh, you predicted it going up?
I predicted it going up. In that week, I made like over 100K.
Holy crap.
You can loop your energy between the past and the future. Every evening, I'd talk to myself yesterday. You can even journal it. So what I would do is I'd write to myself yesterday about how my day was today. And by doing that every night, when I'd wake up the next day, I would get intuitive discernment to do specific things. When I wake up tomorrow, it's almost as if me in the future is already communicating with me. So it doesn't matter the information, it's just creating that loop of energy. We have the essence of God within us. That's what this game is.
Y'all, do y'all see over here? Don't it look like... Okay, right now... Turn the light on. Right now, it doesn't look like anybody's standing there, right? Okay, I'm gonna turn the light... Like, there's a little white thing on the ground. I don't know what that is. Okay, I turn the lights on. Baby, that's the man standing right there! Baby, that's the man standing right there! Are you joking? That is so scary! You turn the lights on. Baby, ain't nothing there.
Merlin the wizard is actually Enki from Samaria and Babylon. And Merlin's staff and his bag, they were magical. So if we just follow all these stories, we start to see that it's really a piece of technology. These guys are holding technology.
Adam i Eva su biće iz laboratorije. Dakle, poznato je, i to je istorijska činjenica, da se nisu znojili. A ko se ne znoji? Ne znoji se zmija. Ona može ceo dan da bude na kamenu i da se ne oznoji. Znači, Adam i Eva jesu bića iz laboratorije i imali su krljušti na sebi. Eva je Adamu rodila 4 sina. Satani 4 sina. Horusu 4 sina. Setu 4 sina. Poseidonu je rodila 10 sinova. Pa neće biti da je ta genetika odumrla tokom istorije, a da smo se mi, održali tokom istorije. Istoričari dobijaju istoriju na kašičicu i njih iluminati i ostali usmeravaju tako da mi ne shvatimo šta se zapravo dogodilo na zemlji.
There's lights on the left. Don't go close. I'm trying to die.
That's a metal slate.
What?
It's shaped like a mushroom.
Why?
You see it?
Oh, it's yeah, because it has trees on top of this.
Stuff underneath.
Oh God.
Lemonade?
It's red.
Red lemonade. It's mostly deer and a couple stray cats. That's $1.50 and I don't have change.
Good luck.
It's not human.
That's David S. Pumpkins.
Oh, you're feeling a little hungry, huh? Let's keep those teeth to yourself, my friend. How about this? A wristband to remind you you're safe here. When we care for one another.
So not only did Ellen DeGeneres move out of the country, she also aged 25 years in just a matter of a year and a half. She has not been out of the public eye that long. It's been 3 years since Ellen's show got canceled. Some people are speculating that there is a shortage of the thing that was keeping these people in Hollywood young. They're running low on their supply. Maybe their time is just up. Ellen just was looking like this not that long ago. This is Ellen just 5 years ago. But you know what they say, when the contract is up, it's time to pay up. You no longer get to live in that limelight. Also, not only does she look a lot older, you can also see the evil on her. And those of you who are gonna say, I'm reaching. I need y'all to do a deep rabbit hole on Ellen DeGeneres. I guess all of her jokes about pizza, if you know what I mean, seems like there's no more pizza in the pizza parlor. These Hollywood people, y'all like to idolize them and y'all like to hold them on a pedestal without understanding how evil these people really are. I used to love Ellen until I saw the writing on the wall and all of the little things she would say in her shows. It finally caught up to her, just like it will catch up to everybody.
When you go to a thrift shop close to Plainfield, Wisconsin,
unique. Yeah. An antique person would be coming for this. And look at this one.
can you say Ed Gein?
Nuts.
Kris Jenner is the new face of MAC makeup, but every time I see a picture of Kris Jenner, I ask myself how it's even possible to look like that. I don't understand how people can say she just had plastic surgery. That's impossible. When you're 70 years old, there aren't 50 ways to stretch the skin. I don't think it's just plastic surgery. Everyone tries to convince me there's some way to turn a 70-year-old woman into someone who looks 30. How is it possible that she looks younger than her own daughters in their 30s and 40s? Sure, some parts of the body can be worked on, but you can't make the skin on the neck look that young again. And if you thought Kris Jenner was the only one, she's not. It's the same with Martha Stewart. Everybody ages normally, then suddenly they seem to decide one day to look half their age. What's going on? Is there some kind of elite procedure to fix a flabby neck? Is this method being kept secret by the elites, while regular people like us don't get access to it? Like I said, at that age, such a shocking transformation shouldn't even be possible. And when you look at this version of Kris Jenner, she doesn't look anything like the person we used to see everywhere. She's become almost flawless at 70. But what's going to happen when she gets even older?
Yo, back up. Back up, Blair. Back up. Oh my God! Back it up. Pick it up hard.
The survival instincts of a cyberbully victim.
Did you know that Michael Jackson was a follower of the Satanist Aleister Crowley? If you look closely at Michael Jackson's arm right here, you see the number 777. Michael Jackson followed the 777 book written by Aleister Crowley. The 777 book was used to summon and channel Nephilim spirits through ancient magic. Now this gets even crazier. There's an article called I Make Myself Invisible by Aleister Crowley where he says he has a hall of mirrors and he contacts spirits this way. Why did Michael Jackson go and buy a room full of mirrors? This is Michael Jackson word for word in Psychic News in 1987. He says, I have one secret room with a moving hall and mirrors. That's where I talk to Liberace. He is the voice I hear in there. I feel his presence so very close to me. Liberace Liberace is like my guardian angel. He's even given me permission to record his theme song, I'll Be Seeing You. Liberace was a public, flamboyant homosexual. Why would you want to feel his presence and summon him? It doesn't make any sense.
What's up, Jaden? Thank you. You're welcome. Can you pause real quick, Jaden? Quick. Yeah!
Everything makes sense now on why Ice Spice was acting weird, y'all. Look at the picture. Look at who she's in the picture with. This lady has been behind some of the craziest pictures. And one of them being the jump with Travis Scott, where it looked like his soul was leaving his body. This lady is openly satanic. And I really believe Ice Spice is almost completing her ritual, fool. It started with Taylor Swift. Everybody already know when she was at the football games with Taylor Swift, and then the camera went on Taylor and her, and she did the little sign. Y'all know what sign I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. I still believe Taylor is her handler, but she's completing it. This video, I don't know who this fashion dude is, but I guess he's somebody of significance because the way he gripped on Ice Spice, it looked like they dating. But maybe he just, I don't know. Y'all look at the video. Who is this dude? Look at this shit. Watch how he plant his hand on her belly. He gripping the waist. Look at this shit, y'all. Watch his hand placement. I need y'all to look at his face, look at her face. Look. Hand. Look. What the fuck? Is that a face of regret? I might be tripping, but that's why I got y'all for. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all think I'm tripping? Or am I on to something? Well, do y'all notice?
Office in the kitchen. What the This here got office.
Nothing like a team meeting by the fryer.
I'm the guy that teaches PSYOPs, telling you that we are in a PSYOP. 1000%. We are in a big time PSYOP. And that does not mean that I have some kind of x-ray vision and I can see the puppet masters up above the stage. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't research that stuff.
Right.
But I do research these techniques. And they're definitely here. And it looks like this is the same process that's happened all over the world where PSYOPs were sped up and weren't allowed to mature before the next phase began. And I think people are saying, well, this is bonkers or this is ridiculous, just crazy. Like it's just in your face.
Yeah.
It's from the left, from the right, from everywhere.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with left or right. And I think that is in itself a whole nother discussion.
Yes.
But we're seeing a timeline being sped up. We're seeing things done more and more in the open because there's probably not time for the previous step to mature to get our minds ready to receive the next one.
I see.
That's what it is.
What's the most dangerous lie the U.S. government is still telling the public?
The Israelis are not our friends. The FBI has been able to identify 187 undeclared Mossad agents spread all around the United States to steal secrets from our defense contractors. Now, we give the Israelis 99% of the technology that we have. They're trying to steal that last 1%. I'll give you an example. We went to the Israelis. We said, look, we're developing this new fighter called the F-35. It's going to to be the best fighter. They said, we want it. We said, great, we'll give them to you. We're going to call yours the F-35I, I for Israel. And what we're going to do is we're going to very slightly degrade the avionics. So, God forbid, if one of them gets shot down, the Iranians or the Russians or the Chinese can't get the avionics. They said, no, we want the F-35. We said, no, we're not going to give it to you. Well, the Israelis are in Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin and Boeing and every other defense contractor in America trying to steal every one of our defense secrets to upgrade the avionics to have at least what we have and more.
The Greys are apparently more closely related to insects than they are mammals. They're breeding hybrids, so you can colonize the Earth with these hybrids and replace the human race. They want to increase the hybrid population as quickly as possible, and they want to reduce the human population as quickly as possible. And how do you do that? You do a lot of abductions, and that means the government has to cooperate by not allowing disclosure. And so they want the cover-up to continue so they can continue their hybridization program to hopefully develop a robust hybrid that can then colonize the Earth and replace the human race.
It's probably going to get us in trouble.
These are the emissions from an AI data center, specifically from Grok. Grok is the AI engine that Elon Musk uses, and it's not good news. Yeah, so this was taken through an optical gas imaging camera, which can essentially see the gases that the human eye can't, and taken by Sharon Wilson with Oilfield Witness. This was taken at xAI's campus in Memphis, Tennessee. Now, there are 33 of these gas-powered methane turbines, of which only 15 have permits at time of recording, which is a whole other story. But what we're seeing in these videos is an awful lot of heat. Big consequence of using AI. It uses a lot of machinery, needs a lot of heat to power it. But we're also seeing something else. Because if you pan up, you see these sort of cloud. Now, they can include things like uncombusted methane, nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and carcinogenics. Basically, things that are horrendous.
And I remember Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. You know what has energy, frequency, and vibration? Me and you and every human that you know. Oh, if you want to know the secret of the universe, you are the secret of the universe. And now we understand. That's why they poison our schools and get them up while they're young. That's why the media, that's why the government, that's why the food, that's why the water, that's why the farming. What is it about you that they would go through that much trouble to make you feel like you're actually free? And you're not. What is it about you? What is it? That's what's one question I would ask everyone to ask. What is it about me?
The C note being played in reverse is what has us under mass hypnosis. And they can use this C note in reverse to alter the whole way you move. It's no different than in Get Out. When she clicked the thing, ding, and he froze up. The reason he froze up was because that was a version of the C note in reverse. It'll lock you up. You ain't going nowhere. Because remember, your organs are related to the same organs that make sounds. That's why they call them organs. The whole fucking English language is witchcraft. It's no different than him saying astro world. And he really finna try to take y'all ass to the astro world. All magic. This is why go buy it. They don't even want to buy it. This is how marketing companies get us to go buy cheeseburgers that we wouldn't even be buying if they didn't play that in reverse under the commercial. It's the C note being played in reverse that makes us move at their sheer will.
This is mermaid.
What is it?
This is mermaid meat.
Mermaid meat. Why do you think?
Whoa. Big stretch.
What is this one again called?
Mermaid meat.
Why are you telling me that? How do you know that?
The label
like chicken, that I thought it was chicken and I was really confused.
but the label said chicken of the sea.
Yeah.
Ask any mermaid you happen to see. What's the
best tuna, chicken of the sea? Or ask anybody.
Our tuna, chicken of the sea. It's hand-filleted, baked twice, and has a mermaid on the label. Well, constant federal inspection assures me chicken of the sea is good quality tuna. We believe in mermaids.
Ask any mermaid that you see. What's the best tuna, chicken of the sea?
Can anyone explain why this is happening when I open my Band-Aids?
I think we might have accidentally gone too high.
What do you mean?
I'm looking at the map. I think...
You think this now? When we're already up?
Mind you, those are clouds, not fog.
There's really something strange about these babies. At just a few months old, they're already the size of a 7-year-old child and weigh over 40 kilos. Similar cases are appearing everywhere in India, Brazil, Ukraine, and the United States. Doctors are at a loss, the milk is normal, and genetics explain nothing. Some parents claim that their child never gets sick, reacts to invisible things, and above all, has never cried. They're nicknamed the silent babies. Online, one theory is causing concern. What if these children were the result of a deliberate mutation created to survive what's coming?
The entire world is a lie, and most people too deep in the program to even notice. You see, 90% of the population are sleepwalking. Their eyes are open, but their minds are caged. Then there's 5%, the ones who noticed something was wrong, trying to wake everyone up. But there's a problem. That 1% at the top, the puppet masters, they don't want the sleepers to wake, so they fund the other 4%. The gatekeepers, the trolls, the so-called fact-checkers, who are trained to attack, silence, and mock the 5% truth-tellers. It's a war, but it's not fought with guns. It's fought with ideas, algorithms, and fear. And the saddest part, the 90% defend their chains. They laugh at the ones trying to free them. They fight to protect the very prison that keeps them small. So if you feel like you're losing friends, if you feel like no one gets it, you're not crazy. You're just awake, and that's what scares them the most.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the man?
Nah, what the is this, bruh? Oh.
There's no way that this is a mosquito, right? There's no way that... Ah! Yeah! Why is it like that? Oh my God! What is that?
We have Einstein with his one quote. I have come to believe that no experiment, scientific experiment, can prove the movement or has detected the movement of the Earth.
But one of the most famous was the Michelson-Morley experiment in 1887.
No, tell us about that.
Well, they used light beams to measure whether the Earth was moving, and they found that there was no movement. The Earth has to be moving 30 kilometers per second to complete its annual revolution, and they found out that it wasn't moving in a very precise. Michelson could have calculated it to 1/100th of what he got in his experiment. That's how sensitive his instruments were.
What did the experiment involve in terms of apparatus, so we can get a concrete understanding of what they found?
If the Earth is moving around the sun, and we shoot that light beam in the direction that the Earth is moving, okay, and then we shoot another light beam perpendicular to that, well, the one that's in the direction of the Earth's movement should be impeded in some way if it's moving through space, whereas this one is going perpendicular would not be impeded.
Why not?
Because it's not going through space. It's just going north and south. Okay? And what they found, they expected to have a 30-kilometer difference between these two light beams. There was no difference. So the natural interpretation, and even Einstein admits this, Mach admits this, Born admits this, the natural interpretation is that the Earth isn't moving. So how do we get out of that? Well, you invent special relativity. And now you say, well, the reason that light beam wasn't affected when it went toward the motion of the Earth is because the apparatus shortened.
Huh?
Yeah, Michelson's apparatus shortened as it was going with the Earth in its orbit around the sun.
No, wait, you're telling me that the contraction of mass...
Yes.
We sleep, so we don't ever question that. What I think is happening in the bedroom when we can't move is they're creating a diversion, so we don't ever figure out something happened in the astral realm that I have to undo. There were oaths that were made that I have to disavow myself of. There were legal rights given over that I have to undo. They don't want you to question that, so they create a diversion.
You got no arm. You don't got no arm.
Now where the ball go?
I don't know if people know about this with Nike, but did you know if your Nikes have a plus sign on the bottom of them, like Nike Plus? I'm about to show you something. They have tracking devices in their shoes. Check this out. So look, it's usually in the left shoe, right? You get this undone. I'm at Goodwill. Remember? Whenever you get inside the shoe, they have this little slot right here, right? Look, if you reach in it, grab it, it's a tracking device inside your Nike. And look, I'm gonna put it right back and show you that it fits. Boom. I'm not sure if they do it to the right shoe, but this is like a deep secret of Nike. Kind of like how like those one shoes, yeah, they don't have it in this shoe. They're both Nikes, but they're Nike Pluses. Kind of like that one shoe that has the upside down cross in their shoe. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called. It's like Doc Martens or something.
This is just one of the craziest freeway entrances. You got all the traffic coming right towards you. Cars are exiting here. For you to enter, you literally got a stop sign. You gotta find a gap so you could just burn rubber and get in there. I'm gonna do so after this truck. We're in.
What the happened to Mandy Moore, y'all? Yet another celebrity looking totally different. Am I tripping? Look at her face, y'all. What do you notice? I understand that she's getting older, but bruh, she don't look shit like the Mandy Moore I knew. This was her younger. As you can see, like I said, everybody know you get older. But y'all, hold up. Look at the picture that's not too long from how she look now. This was some years ago. I'm gonna show you some months ago. Look at the picture, y'all. You tell me what you notice. It's right here in your face. Boom. Bow. Y'all don't notice the trend that these celebrities is going through like drastic changes and nobody seem to know why. They always point to like the obvious, oh, they're getting old, or maybe they got surgery. But why is all these celebrities getting surgery, fool? If that is the case, I don't know, y'all. I just be finding shit highly weird. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below in the comments.
Babies are born alive. They are put in the medical waste stream. They are laid out on trays and they're covered with blankets. And every now and again, it'll be somebody's job to go in there and lift the cloth to see if the baby's died. And there's just these bodies, these babies who are just discarded there like the trash. So Louise Adset, who's been a midwife of over 14 years, very brave woman, comes to this inquiry and she says, in my hospital in Queensland, babies are born alive and they survive their abortion and they're left to die. And she breaks down as she tells this story. She says some of them are wriggling and crying for hours, and she talks of a baby who survived for 5 hours in her hospital and was left to die. And then because of Louisa's story, another midwife got in contact with me. I told her story on my YouTube channel, but did have to blur up her face and voice. But she told the story of babies in her hospital ward who just get discarded in the waste room, and no one tells their stories. But she also said there was this other little baby at 28 weeks who the injection of potassium chloride happened, the baby was delivered dead, and the midwife held this little baby boy and he was perfect, and she just kissed him on the forehead and said, "I'm so sorry." And that just broke my heart to think of it. These beautiful young women who've gone into this vocational work because they care about babies and mothers, and they're being turned into killers by the system. There is technically a right to conscientiously object, but there is so much pressure placed on them to participate.
The system is pure evil.
This is insane, actually. To me, this is equivalent to a tornado. Oh my goodness. Wow, this is actually some of the craziest strobing lightning I've seen in quite some time. This is so crazy, dude. Whoa!
Flash is on. All right, let's take a look.
What do you think's in there?
I don't know. I guess nothing.
เฮ้ยเสียงนกแสกเฮ้ยลงมาทำไมเมื่อกี้กูเห็นเหมือนมันจะเป็นไม่เห็นใครเดินไหมนั่นน่ะไอ้เหี้ยนะฮะเสียงโป่งแสงวะขอขึ้นไปดูกันนะว่าเห็นใช่ไหมเห็นต้องเสียงปกโอ้เฮ้ยพี่เฮ้ยมันสูงยาวแปลกไหมแปลกเป็นสูงยาวทำไมผมความรู้สึกจะบอกว่าคนโบราณนั่นก็ไม่ใช่ก็ไม่เชิงเฮ้ยนั่นขาเหรอแล้วสูงยาวมากอุ้ยสูงเท่าพระเลยนะเว้ยพี่ไม่มันเป็นมุมเฉียงที่เขาสูงมานั้นน่ะอะไรวะตีเฮ้ยตีปลายหางพี่ปลายหางเขาสะบัดน้ำลงมาเล่นนี่เสียงเหมือนตำนานเขาที่เขาบอกกับพี่เฮ้ยพี่
Did you guys know that a dude fell off the boat into the water with the animatronic shark in 1990? But that wasn't the worst thing that has happened on this ride. 2 years after that incident, in 1992, a teenager had jumped off the boat at this part of the ride and was bitten by the animatronic shark. Imagine being in the water with this guy. The kid was rescued, but he suffered so much blood loss by the time he got to the hospital that he had passed away. But before any of that even happened, technicians were in the water before the ride opened, and they were supposed to make sure that Jaws was more lifelike. And while working on him underwater, somehow the power got turned on, electrocuting all the underwater technicians. And hours later, staff came by to find their floating bodies, and they thought it was part of the ride. People say the ride is cursed. And since then, they've closed the ride and replaced it with a Harry Potter ride. People have gone on to say that this ride also experiences all kinds of difficulties and the ride is still cursed. But what do you guys think?
เขาชิวจังวะแกนั่นสิงโตนะไม่ใช่แมวแกพี่มาทำอะไรพี่ พี่ครับเอ้ยครับทำอะไรครับแค่นี้
Even the lioness is confused.
Vidite ovako, Atlantiđani su stvorili u laboratoriji Jevreje. I to može da im smeta koliko hoće, jer je Mojsije pobio dosta Jevreja. Stari Jevrejci su Judejci, oni imaju malo tamniju put, a ovi beli Jevreji, oni su rađeni u laboratoriji, odradila ih je sestra Enkija i Enua i Enkija. Prvi laboratorijski proizvod, da kažem, njihov bili su Romi. To je neuspeo projekat Jevreja i oni su njih uzeli u zaštitu i tokom istorije, kao što vidite, i Evropa i svet, svi prvo Romi pa svi ostali.
Have certain forms where they appear in the mind's eye of the magician as weird things like a head of a toad, a head of a man, and a head of a crab, legs of a spider, legs of a man, all joined together. That's like a calling card, so that you know, I've now summoned, say for example, Lord Baal. And at the magician's command, they will take human form, but it's a twisted human form. Saxa Gotha clans and the Saxa-Altenburg clans started to say that they were descended from King Solomon, who is one of the most notorious magicians of the Judaic system. And he wrote many books telling you how to communicate with the Kilipoth. And in the official genealogy books in London, you can see that the royal family of Britain, at Buckingham Palace, claim that they are descended from King Solomon. So these tombstones are a very important archaeological discovery. A farmer was ploughing a field and he found all of these altar stones. Some of these are gravestones, some of them are altar stones, and they're all altar stones from the Roman Empire. Put them all together and buried them into the ground in one field, as if they were embarrassed about these horrible demons that the Roman Caesars were worshipping.
This is the lake. Baby, you couldn't pay me to get in this water. Why do y'all want to get in this deep ass water? Like, do you see how deep this water is? This water is not nothing to play with at all. It's not nothing to play with at all.
They're coming! The sky's opening up! 3i Atlas is the mothership! Hide now, all of you! Hide while you still can!
You need to get up and leave the store. If you don't, I have to...
19th century ordinary stoves were supposedly stoked with radium. Researchers studying ancient castles paid attention to stoves with slits in the form of a sign of radiation. These devices had an unusual structure. It did not make sense to heat them with coal because of the huge consumption of fuel, and many models were without chimneys. It seemed that they did not need a smoke outlet. Moreover, some of them had the mysterious radium marking. Such a stove could indeed heat huge rooms, unlike a conventional fireplace. But here's what is truly shocking. While investigating these stoves, the scientists began to disappear one by one. What is being hidden from us? Could it be the forgotten technologies of alchemists?
You better run before the memes get you, twin.
No dividers,
perfect visibility here. And then just Will Smith.
It's definitely strange that just in the middle of the desert, there's just this random staircase. It blows my mind. You can see this, I believe this could have been like a ladder. You see similar kind of markings at Petra in the higher up areas. And here, potentially under all these mounds, these might not just be dirt, these might be tombs, because this one right here is a tomb. And we'll walk past it now. We gotta be quick. Wow, that's so deep. Jeez. Hello. Wow, I don't even know how they built that. Yeah, so there's definitely some crazy stuff underneath the ground here.
You'll never think this is a goddamn whole apartment. Man, stop playing with it. Shit look nice.
The best way to end something is to let it starve. You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it. And whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away, like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over. But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back, and the game collapses. Step away, and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
Ed Gein inspired horror movies, but what police found in his house was so disturbing, Hollywood couldn't show it. The house appeared to be generally in a state of decay, evidence of pest infestations and poor maintenance. When they expanded their search to the outbuildings, this is where they found Bernice Warden's body. It was hanging upside down. Her head was in a box, and her heart was in a different compartment near the stove, which confirms organ removal. Accounts from Wisconsin outlets say that the deputy who first lit the scene ran outside and vomited. The search of Ed's property continued for over a week because after finding Bernice Warden's body, investigators realized that they had initially dismissed as old dusty furniture was actually items made from human remains. 10 skulls with the tops taken off and used as bowls, and human skulls mounted as bedposts, and a heart found in a bag, and human skin, and many more discoveries that are personally just too gruesome to even detail. The discovery is documented in crime scene photos that remain some of the most disturbing images in American criminal history ever.
The SS found out that people could live longer. So there was another big, massive program given in pieces, brought back by the Navy operatives, plopped it on the table in front of Admiral Riccobotta. And of course, that ended up with about 24 packages because of the different magnitudes of living longer. And I guess if you ask the question for the Nordics, their comparable lifespans are 1,400 to 2,200 years. But they look exactly like us. There is a study that we did later on at TRW on advanced life systems, that's extended life. And that program is down now to within less than 2 years. It's going to be available to some people on this planet. What you do is you revert back to the girl's 21 and the guy's 29. Now, it takes a while for you to do this. Your brain then, which collectively we're only using 2.2% of our brain. I don't care what they're telling us. We're only using 2.2%. You get a minimum of 400% capability over what you normally had. And you don't change age. You stay there. 5 of the top medical research groups, just like Scripps right here in San Diego, are involved in this. And there's hundreds of companies involved in this. There's a whole lot out there that is being removed from our part of our life, and that we are in this position where everything that we've been taught, whether it's in the university or in medical or in any technical field, even mathematics, is baloney. Yet, because we have allowed reptilians to put the stuff in our minds that removes our capability to operate, learn, our entire history, all the way back thousands of years, has been being controlled.
There's this black fluid that these people are consuming, or when one of these entities would come forward and blood let out of himself, it would be this black goo that people were drinking, or that we were made to drink, and it would alter people. It was like a fountain of youth. People's bodies would be transformed in front of your face. They would change shape. They would no longer look old. They wouldn't look aged. They would have an intellect that would be restored to them. It was a possession of a sense, but it was different because it was a biological change, a true transformation that took place in their physiology. And it forever seared in my conscience that there is this other fluid. We called it black goo or programmable matter, that there was a synthetic version that I was seeing counterfeited in the United States military, but there was this old religion version that came from drinking the blood of these serpents, drinking the blood of these dragons and these serpentine people and these hybrids. And this is what I believe much of what Eric and others are starting to uncover and unpack, is that this form of biology really is the seed of the serpent that's infesting itself and trying to alter the world in its image.
That's right. 100%. That's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.